Hello and welcome to another episode of Scavenger Life. This is episode 418 at scavengerlife.com.
So a couple housekeeping things.
Yes.
Number one, we talked a week ago where we are working on this building. We finished the top and we said we're going to do like not a store, but we're going to, it's finished the bottom. And some people were assuming we were going to open up like a antique store or a thrift store. And the answer is absolutely not. We are not going to do that. We haven't said quite yet. It's not really anything like mind-blowing.
Super mind-blowing, exciting.
But it's going to be a different kind of business, mainly because, to me, diversity in business isn't just trying to sell the same thing but in different places. Real diversity is having diversity of income where it's like totally different kinds of things. So
different business models.
Yeah, that's
what's interesting to us.
Yeah. I know a lot of people have a dream to open up their own brick and mortar antique store, thrift store, household goods.
That is not our dream.
Totally cool.
That's not our dream.
Not our dream.
So we have a business building on Main Street, and it's not going to be brick and mortar.
Right.
So just to be clear.
Right. I mean, we're not going to run it. Yep.
Right.
Okay. The other thing was we had been kind of throwing around out there that we want to move our forum for this podcast from our clunky
WordPress, BB Press,
to something easier to manage. Right.
To Reddit.
And the problem we're trying to solve is we're trying to find something that is a less time to admin and something that doesn't cost us money every month because we're scavengers, even though it's worth our money because we like the community. So the good thing we've heard is, so people were giving us their advice. The good thing about moving to Reddit is it's free.
Right.
Reddit takes care of all the
admin, no spammers.
And that's not quite true, but because we still have to moderate.
Well, we still have to moderate. Yes, that's true.
But they maintain all the technical stuff. We could get moderators in the community.
Yeah,
to help us, and it's also where a lot of people already are.
Right.
The bad thing is, and people were saying this, and it makes sense, is that it's more public.
It's way more public.
It might bring more trolls. I don't know. A Reddit can become a very toxic place, but it just means we would have to be better at moderating. And also, some people were saying that they would not be as interested in sharing as much info.
Yeah.
I think the way it is now, we have it's kind of like we have our forum is like a little business in an alleyway.
Yeah,
it's really hard to get to.
It's tucked into a corner.
And if you get there, though, it's real homey and fun and special, but it's always kind of run down. And I guess what we're talking about is having a forum like on the main street where just like anyone can come in and it's really easy to find.
Right.
And
any Reddit user could
and
comment.
People who are sellers say they would not be interested in sharing their numbers as much or linking to their store because I guess they're afraid of people harassing them. So that's something to consider. I guess the big goal for me is I just want us to be able to keep talking to each other and sharing info. I think it's really helpful.
Well, I've heard from several people who said, I'm not on your forum, but I would much rather talk on Reddit because I'm already on Reddit and I didn't want to sign up for your forum and it's too clunky and I got locked out. Right. And that's true. That happens.
Right.
So it's a compromise, I think.
Right. So anyway, I don't mean to bore people, but we just we wanted to kind of think out loud. We don't know exactly what we're going to do yet, but it's just an option. Some people were saying we should get on Facebook because I guess Facebook has groups. And
that will not happen.
That is a hard no from us.
That's a very, very definite no.
Yeah, we're not on Facebook. I'm not a fan, and
I don't like Facebook.
Yeah, that's not a place we'll be. So anyway. Yeah, that's what we're thinking. Okay, let's talk about eBay. Oh, well, something before we start talking about eBay. Mm-hmm. I was telling you this earlier.
Yes.
So we're redoing this apartment, and we have a certain style. It's like kind of new mid-century modern / like
some
cool old wood,
antique, rustic,
it's
eclectic.
Just, and in some ways, it felt kind of like we'd done this before, and it seems kind of like everything's really obvious to do.
You felt like it was formulaic,
right? Exactly.
It is, and I understand why you felt
and it
that
ties
way.
into the conversation we've been having on the forum about, like, if you go to a Michael's or other kinds of stores, there's a certain style, like kind of a DIY farmhouse country,
that's
rustic,
being commodified by Michael's.
That it's everywhere. And so I'm just thinking about selling on eBay. You know, when we first started, finding those kind of things, like old farm things and it's mid-century stuff, was really cool and special.
Yeah.
And we could make money selling that stuff.
And we still do.
Yeah, but I think the prices have come way down.
Yes.
Because there's so much stuff now. Right. Everyone knows about it. And I guess as people that sell on eBay, I'm like, I wonder what's next. Like, is there going to be a different kind of style that we can look for to sell?
Right.
Because as eBayers, you know, it's good for us to see what people will want, because we can't get comfortable if we're just selling the same thing again and again and again.
Because trends change. Like, one good example is, you know, distressed, worn out, you know, Persian rugs.
Right.
Number one, can't use the word Persian.
Right.
That just happened. And, you know, the market on that just several years ago, a handful of years ago, I could sell a rug for a bunch of money.
I think it's a changing of trends, so people don't buy it as much, but it's also just where everyone starts to find that stuff and sell it. So it's,
the price goes down.
Right. So stuff gets
and
overwhelmed.
People are, you go on West Elm, you go on IKEA, you go on Wayfair, you see these fake, worn out antique rugs that are made out of polyester, and they're like, I mean, those are still $100.
It seems like it wasn't that long ago. I remember maybe it was just 3 or 4 years ago, finding like a mid-century something chair or a piece of artwork was like really exciting and cool. And now, you go on Wayfair, and
everything looks like
cranking these things out of Chinese factories, and they look good. It's like they look like
you're like, okay,
you're in a Madden set.
Yeah.
But, So anyway, I was just thinking of that. Like,
what's next?
Yeah. Like, what's the style in
I think to me, I feel like those styles are evergreen. I think rustic is evergreen. I think mid-century modern is evergreen. But I think the way
Do you think so?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I think the way you style it is going to change.
Sure. Right. Well, now we're kind of talking about styling. I'm just talking about more like finding things to sell on eBay. But anyway.
I don't know the answer. Yeah. I can't predict the future.
We don't always know the answer.
Yeah.
So on eBay this week, a couple things. We were discussing about eBay. When do they take bad feedback off your store? Right. And someone said, if you offer free returns, eBay will automatically do that.
I don't think that's true.
So what someone said was, and I couldn't find eBay actually putting this in writing.
Right.
But they said eBay will remove negative feedback if you offer free returns and the buyer requests a return.
A return, exactly.
So they have to ask for it. They don't have to actually send it back.
Right.
But they have to ask for it.
They have to open a return.
And then if they give you negative feedback, eBay will take it away.
Now, if someone leaves a negative feedback, this is the worst thing ever, and doesn't request to return it, they're not going to automatically take that away. Right. I wish that were true. That is not true.
Yep.
It all has to do with returns.
Yep.
So, for example, somebody wanted, they opened a return with me. This is a couple weeks ago. Immediately, I accepted the return, and then 5 minutes later, they left me negative feedback.
Right.
They never returned the item, which I assumed they wouldn't. And I closed the return case, and I got the feedback removed. That's the process.
Got it.
So
that seems to be it. Up. Although we can't say that that's officially correct.
That's my understanding.
But that seems to be the bonus of offering free returns.
Right.
Okay, something else I noticed on the manage orders page, and you're a seller hub, eBay now puts the buyer notes right up front,
which they didn't before.
When you check out your item sold page,
yeah, you can see the note.
A note pop.
And those notes were really hard to see before, and I'll tell you why. So if someone said, "Hey, can you send this out on Wednesday instead of Saturday?" Blah blah blah. You wouldn't see those notes until you were either in the order page, which I never looked at. Why would you ever look at the order page for any reason? Or on the print label page, and it was like hidden in this weird place. It wasn't highlighted. You know, if you didn't look in that little section up top, you wouldn't even see it.
Yep.
So you're like, yeah, eBay, put it on my, to be shipped page.
So have a better tone. That's good.
Okay.
eBay,
that's great.
So eBay did do something good.
I will say this. On the other hand, what you used to be able to do on that like orders page or whatever, it's not orders page, it's like your sold page, sold/to be shipped page. You used to be able to add a note. You used to be able to be like, these 3 items, I need to add notes. Usually I'm adding notes about where they are in inventory. This is probably in this box. This has a lot number. This is the lot number, so I can just see it up front. You have to click through to the order page. You click on that long random number, and you can add the note there. That's really annoying. Why click through when I should just be able to, I should just add it on the orders page. Gotcha. They changed that. That's annoying.
Okay.
So they did one thing right, and they took another thing away, which is stupid and annoying. So, okay.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
Okay. The other thing is All in Sundry is a seller, and they messaged us, and they noticed, and it's not confirmed yet, but it does say it on eBay's fee page, that there's now no more fee to do a scheduled listing.
Is that true?
Yep. I mean,
so you could schedule it, 2 weeks from now at midnight.
It was 10 cents.
It used to be 10 cents.
And I mean, I was like, big deal. I mean, I guess it's for people, number one, who do auctions.
You want to schedule your auction.
They want the auction scheduled at the exact right time.
I get that.
They think, okay, fine. And then I guess also some people who have this idea where if there's a trickle of listings becoming active, it's going to like spur eBay's
like have one active every hour
algorithm, and it looks like you have a really busy store. So
that's interesting.
I mean, hey,
okay.
If I'm all about if people feel power over their stores, that's cool. But the nice thing is, and again, there's still some confusion over it, but it does say on the fee schedule page that it says there's no charge for it. But then this person said when they tried it, there's
still a fee.
And then they called, and eBay was like, oh, yeah, that is weird. So it's like...
So it's not quite implemented.
We don't really know yet exactly.
Because when I look at my scheduled, so what I do with my helper is I make her take everything out of drafts, schedule it for as far out as possible. It's like 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
And then I go in and I turn that schedule off, and I publish it immediately after I've looked at it and made sure I have the right price on it. And I always see the 10 cents. And then once I say, no, list it now, the 10 cents goes away. So yeah, so I'm seeing that 10 cents still.
But then did the 10 cents go away?
That's what I just said.
Okay. So
it goes away because I take the schedule off.
Because we take the schedule
I'm not like, publish this in a week. Okay. I'm like, no, publish this now.
We haven't actually done a test to see.
No, it's actually not a proper test.
So anyway, we just throw it out there. Some people really enjoy scheduled items.
I actually like that idea. It's like on Blogger, WordPress, or even Gmail now. You can actually schedule stuff to be sent later.
Yep.
It shouldn't cost you extra. Yep. It should just be like, have this published on Monday.
Right. Or if I want to say something bad to you, I could schedule it in like an hour, leave the house.
And then send the email.
And then it would automatically get sent to you. And then I would be gone. Okay. The other thing is Troy.
Yeah.
Troy, a.k.a.
TSAT.
TSAT.
Yes, this is interesting.
So, it doesn't take a lot to rile him up. So I was really surprised when he started to send me messages.
It does take him a lot to rile him up.
You're right. It does. Sorry.
You said that opposite. I was
it does take a lot.
That sounds the opposite of Troy.
It does take a lot because he's a very calm.
He's very calm. He's very business oriented.
So he started to send me his messages where he was really concerned because he says eBay no longer shows all of his options to ship items on his item page.
On his listing.
And I remember eBay, I think we'd even talked about it. eBay did like one of those announcements with very vague terminology. And I can put a link here, in the a forum where they said, we're going to make it easier for buyers. We're just going to show them the best way to ship. And
so that's very vague.
You're like,
the best way according to what?
And so how it seems to be executed is eBay actually only shows the buyer certain shipping options that you choose to push. So even if you want to show them a certain way to ship, eBay might take that away. And this is both from a mobile and on the website.
Yeah. So when you were telling me this at first, I was like, well, I am not seeing that. So not every listing is the case.
Right.
Like I'll see first class and priority on some listings.
Right, real quick, because that's normally what we do, is that we want to give people two options, the slow, cheap way or the fast,
more expensive way.
And it's just like anything, and then people can pick.
Right, pick one and I'll ship it that way. But I did click on a couple of our listings and I was like, oh yeah, it's just showing one of the options. Like it's just showing first class and there should be a priority option.
And so
here.
Even if somebody wants to ship priority, there isn't a way to choose
now
that.
my question is this, and I don't know how I would find this out. When they put it in their cart and then go to pay, is it like Amazon where it's like, here are your three options?
Yeah, we don't really know that.
But just so the problem is like I buy stuff on eBay, one for our rentals and two, I buy stuff in bulk to resell on eBay, and I want the best shipping price. So if I'm just seeing one price and it's expensive, I might be messaging those people, hey, can you send it, parcel cheaper? They're probably like, yeah, it should be on there,
right.
But I'm not seeing it.
Do people actually say that to you?
No.
Okay.
Mostly people are like, sending stuff the most expensive, expedited.
I didn't know that I could do that. Yeah. So the best thing I can come up with is this. eBay thinks that buyers are confused on shipping times when they're given multiple shipping options.
They're like, why isn't this here?
So they decide, well, we'll just show them one option so the buyer doesn't get confused. And if that is if that's why they're doing it, then the problem isn't the fact that there are multiple ways to ship. It's just that the way they're showing the info is confusing. Right. So it's on them, not on us. And
it's on their UI.
Like when you buy on Amazon.
Right.
Amazon does a great job. You go through, there's a way to ship, and they give you 4 different ways.
Right.
Free, fast, slow, prices, and you're just like...
I need this. I don't need this in any time.
I don't think buyers get confused that they have different options. It just needs to be eBay... If that's why they're doing the eBay needs to work on their user interface. Okay,
so what's interesting to me is I don't know about mobile because I don't even want to look at mobile because honestly I think mobile is a mess. When I look on eBay shipping pages and you see the 2, it says how long it's going to take and how much it's going to cost. Great. It should do that when you get an invoice. It should do that too. I'm not quite sure if it does.
Yeah. I think you seem really down. I don't think eBay.com or eBay on my phone is that bad. I mean, it works.
I never shop on my phone, actually. I never buy stuff on my phone.
We buy stuff on the website all the time.
No, so I love it on the website.
I mean, we're just talking about little tiny things that can get better. I just think we have to get a better...
Let's move on.
Okay. I'm not as ready yet. So... Okay. And with this, I would love to hear what other people think about this. Are you finding that eBay is not giving all the options that you choose to put on your item to ship.
Right.
And
are you seeing that?
do you know why they're doing this? Is, some people are hanging out in the Facebook, eBay world and
okay, so our
places.
thoughts, I'm assuming this is your thought, is there wasn't a problem. So they're trying to fix something that wasn't a problem.
Yeah.
You're like, this is not a problem.
Yeah.
I have 2 shipping things. One's slow, one's fast, one's cheap, one's, more expensive. Sometimes priority is cheaper than parcel.
Right.
Depending on where you are and where I am.
Right.
So you're like, I would love it if people had that option,
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
it doesn't seem like a problem.
Now we're done.
Now we can move on. Okay.
Okay, gut reaction to the week.
Medium.
Like,
What description?
maybe I gotta think of a better word, but we're just trying to talk about
kind of okay,
how the
slow,
week felt.
Didn't feel too bad.
It started out really good.
Yeah.
And then the July 4th
holiday,
holiday,
off then.
It was a weird holiday. It was like, it's the Thursdays, July 4th.
Right
People
in the middle of the
basically
week.
were taking off on Wednesday and basically taking off the rest of the week.
Until today,
which is great for people that have to do those hours. That's awesome. But I feel like our stores just dropped off a cliff during the holidays. So we made $1,157.
That's medium.
Hey, it's medium.
I mean, it's not $600. It's not $2,000.
We made the money we needed to make, but we sold only 29 items.
Yeah.
But the good thing is our average price was about $40.
I felt like things were pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
I sold some really old stuff. There was something where I was modeling a suit.
like
suit
a jacket
set,
like
a women's pantsuit. I'm like, that is literally from 2012.
It was a loser.
I mean,
but it's
I sold it for $18.
I know. Hey, it's sold.
Why not?
I mean, I feel like eBay is still doing for us what we needed to do. We're not putting a lot of time into it. We've front loaded all the inventory. And now as we're doing other things, it's still selling and paying our bills. But this is definitely 2019 is definitely a slow summer for us.
It's slow.
It isn't like this every summer, but in the decade we've been selling on eBay, we do have these summertime. And this is when people come up with why and, weird, funky ideas about their stores being blackballed or something. I don't know. It's just a slow summer, but it's okay for us.
Yeah.
Things we sold. The big sale that saved us was we sold a bunch of markers.
$300 worth of markers.
Vintage markers. If you hear our podcast, I found 2 big shopping carts of just vintage markers and pens and erasers.
You went back the next day at 7 a.m.
It was like a school from the 70s or 80s had a closet and they just emptied it out of old schools.
And we bought all of them.
It's supplies, and I bought them all, and we just continue to sell these things.
It's like a gold mine.
It's slow selling, but when they sell, they're great. I mean,
I sell a box of 12 markers from the 70s for $50.
Yeah. And these happen to sell to a film set in England.
In England, yeah.
I guess they're having a TV show or something, or a film, and great.
Love
it's
it.
Awesome.
Couldn't love it more.
And we still have so much more.
I'm like, when is this? It's like the never-ending box of markers.
Awesome.
I have 3 boxes.
So what to take away from that is, if you have a good feeling about a big box of stuff, go for it. Yeah.
Because look, I think it cost us $80 to buy all of those. Yep. We've made thousands of dollars on those boxes over several years.
Yep. It's good.
You can't go wrong with that.
Yeah. I mean, God, I wish
markers.
I could find these kind of things all the time.
But the thing about these, some of them are, I'm like, why would anybody buy this? But they are buying them. Mm-hmm. Some of them are the original magic markers.
Right.
In quotes, markers. They are in glass jars with basically a felt paintbrush that you open up and write on a piece of paper.
And they all still work.
I'm like, what? This is from the 50s or 60s before they had markers that were looked like pens.
I love
that's incredible.
I love when people talk about on the forums when they find big boxes of cool stuff.
Because where would you find that? Yeah. Where is a film set going to find markers from the 70s for their film set of a school or whatever?
We sold a magazine, a single magazine that we found on the
streets of New York City
for $33.
It was it was like an Australian, UK based fashion magazine.
Someone just had a box of like books and magazines, and we picked out the best ones. And
$35 for a single. It sold overnight.
Right. And we're not going to get rich off this stuff, but it's such a good feeling
to pay my bills,
scavenge like that.
Right.
We sold some old paper maps.
Yes, they weren't paper. They were like laminated,
right? But like
handheld maps.
Yeah, back when we moved to San Francisco,
2006.
I mean, the internet was obviously in existence, but like things like maps on your phones. I mean,
you didn't have that.
Yeah, you could like go to a quest
and print it. But we were walking around the city, right. And so if someone's like, "Meet me at this place," we're like, "We don't know where that is."
But we sold these maps for $18.
It was a set of 3 maps.
Yeah, cool.
I mean, look, I just had them in my file cabinet. I'm like, someone's gonna move to San Francisco and they don't have a SIM card.
And then finally, we sold a tea towel for $22. There was a time when we were buying a lot of these tea towels.
I like tea towels.
Like where we are, I don't know, I guess it's something that people
collected. Like tea towel calendars.
Right, they were like calendars and they were kind of country kitsch cute, and I'm like hate them so much.
Only if I see mid-century modern ones.
But I cannot believe when I see these things sell for $22.
I think this one so we sold it at the beginning of the week. It was kind of like July 4th themed. It was like bicentennial, like 70s. Yeah. It was like 1975 or 76 or whatever.
I mean, look, I don't begrudge someone buying them from us.
You're just like...
I'm just like, I can't
How is this a thing?
Yeah,
I think they're cute.
It's one of those things where I'm so not excited about it, but at the same time, I'm like, yeah.
The thing about the tea towel calendars is people like to buy them for people for their birthdays, where they're like, this is the year you were born, and you like hang it up.
Okay.
That's what I think is happening.
Right.
Or this was the year I was born, and it's a piece of artwork, basically. That's my hunch.
Cool.
That's it.
It's a good hunch.
Yeah.
Scavenger of the week. We again
did not scavenge.
Did not do any scavenging.
We are going to an auction on Tuesday.
Yep. We're excited about that. Going to an auction which we haven't been to in a while, but that's kind of been our MO lately, is to go to auctions and buy a bunch of stuff that can hold us over for
a while.
So
we'll see how long
we'll go all in.
Yeah, we'll see how long it holds us over for.
$5,000 sale.
Shit!
$5,000. How's that?
No, that's not possible. So the answer is no.
Yeah. Customer issues, we thankfully really haven't had any in a while. I mean,
I had a return, but it wasn't blamed on us. They were like, "This purse doesn't fit me
but
right."
It's just this is when eBay feels good, when everyone's just happy. Everything's on the item. Like, look, just check the pictures out, be happy.
The only thing is, like, this one lady asked me about some fabric, and I had said it's 37.25 inches by 56 inches. That's the size of the piece of fabric. She was like, I don't understand what that means. And I'm like, it's 37.25 inches. And she's like, is it 37 feet and 25 inches? I was like, no, it is 37 and 1/4 inch. Like, I had to write to her like 4 times and like type it differently every time. I'm like, I don't understand what you don't understand. Like, it's things like that are customer issues, but and you're like, you're probably not going to buy this.
I guess we're not really like, or I'm not like a seamstress. Maybe people don't do like points in
I have no idea.
In like a fabric.
No one's ever asked me that question. Right. They didn't understand a measurement, so
I guess she wasn't interested, but she didn't buy it.
Well, I think she thought so. The price of the fabric was like $24 or something, with probably best offer. And she thought it was 37 yards. You're like, how am I going to sell 37 yards for $20? Like, if someone else is doing that, they're not making any money.
Yeah, I guess she was hoping it's for like a crazy deal.
Yeah.
This week we did not get any voicemails or calls. So, yeah.
Well, people, I think, are on vacation.
Everyone is running perfectly smoothly.
They have no questions, no comments.
Smooth operating stores.
Great. Love it.
Yeah, well, thanks. If you have any comment or opinion about where you would like to have our forum, we would love to hear from you.
Yeah, I would love to.
We could just stay where we are, but we could
just
change.
stay. It is clunky. I get it. Sometimes people will put a post up and then immediately edit it and then get blocked by the server as a spammer, even though you're not one.
But just when but the goal is to find a place, because it's the internet. There are lots of free services. Yeah. A place that's free, a place that will archive everything for everyone, and a place that has good tools for moderation.
A place where people can make a user and it's just ready to go, and you don't have to wait for me to say you're not a spammer.
Are you human?
Yeah.
You can check out our blog at scavengerlife.com for the links we talk about, and you can join the conversation on our current forum.
For now.
That I think we're scaring people about.
I know.
You can call and leave a question or comment on our voicemail line, 540-407-8486. We post an episode every Monday, sometimes Sunday night.
Sometimes you're lucky. It's a Sunday night.
If you're lucky.
Yeah.
Wednesdays, we post our What Sold video that's done by Steve Schultz.
Who we love.
He does such a good job. He has such a good eye for stuff.
Yep.
You can subscribe to our Patreon if you want to.
What is Patreon?
Throw us a couple bucks.
Yeah.
Just a way to support this podcast. And you can subscribe for as little as $5 a month. You can subscribe to it through iTunes or YouTube. People should know all this stuff by now, but it's free.
You can also listen to our other podcast.
Yeah.
Which I'm about to record with my sister, shampooandbooze.com.
Yep. I've been cut out of that production.
You cut yourself out.
I've been cut out.
You cut yourself out.
Girls only.
Well, look, we'll have you on sometime.
And quickly talk about it.
So Shampoo and Booze, we talk about Airbnb / short-term rentals.
Yep.
Talk about how to run the business, why to run the business, design. We have design services that you can pay just a little bit of money for. And we're publishing every Wednesday morning.
Yep. And you guys are trying to find people to kind of participate in the conversation at Shampoo and Booze.
I really love talking about that stuff. So go check it out, shampooandbooze.com.
Yep. And you can, if you want, we have an archive of over 5 years of podcasts.
You can download them all.
This is 400 and something?
We're on 418.
So if you've just found us, we're brand new to you. We've actually been around for a long time. You can obviously go on YouTube and everything's there.
Yeah.
But if you want to download everything all at one time, we have a link.
Download all.
Yeah. You have to pay us because why not?
Server costs, because why not?
But you can find that at scavengerlife.com.
Okay, bye. 3, 2, 1.
Podcast is ending. 3, 2, 1. Bye.